Deadweight Nate and Philip D's nuts. Deadweight Nate and Philip D's nuts.
Wow.
Hello.
Well, I built this rope.
Everyone needs a good rope.
Hello, Mr. Phil and Mr. Dead. I'm so sorry that I forgot to make beef supreme. I still remember it's at 17 minutes in to that stream. The increase in Mr. Dead. The increase in medication I have I'm not used to the drowsy effects yet, and my brain doesn't work as well.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that we'll like talk about it, and then I'll be like, remember earlier when we were talking about this? And you're like, nope. And I'm like, well, we had a full conversation about it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's supposed to help with nerve pain and sleep issues, but it seems to be affecting my waking life a lot more than my sleep.
And you're having like really fidgety sleep too. Yeah. Which makes me like a little bit fearful, because there was only one time where he was like really fidgety in his sleep, and he kind of like I wasn't a huge fan of that.
I feel so great. Don't want to speak too soon, but that's so good, Philip. I'm glad to hear that. Violetta in Bracken, good to see you. Yeah, the medication is called nortriptyline. It's like I said, a nerve pain suppressant, anti-inflammatory, and I don't know. It's guess eventually I get used to it. Maybe not. I don't know. It was one I had tried to take this level of dosage in the past, and it made me feel too weird. So because there was so many changes at once, we stepped it back, and whatever. It is as it is. It's a new mystery every day.
Yes.
Which, I mean, as someone with anxiety, I'm not a fan of mysteries every day. I like to sometimes. What's the main ingredient
In nortriptyline?
Nortriptyline?
I don't know.
It's a cousin to, I used to take amitriptyline, but it was really hard on my stomach. So that was for the switch, but it's so much. I hate talking about all of it. Trizzle!
Hey, Trizzle.
Holy crap, you guys. It's good to see you on a freaking Tuesday. Yeah, yesterday I was just a little too tired. It was actually a nice day.
Yeah. I ended up doing laundry yesterday because it was got up to plus 17 degrees Celsius. So it was a good day to hang out the laundry to dry. So that was
hang out our stinky britches.
Yeah. And then I made little tiny like pot pies for supper in ramekins, and they were very cute. I guess not pot pies because there was no. It was more like a shepherd's pie because it was a mashed potato situation on top of like meat and gravy and vegetables. And it was really good.
There was no pot in it.
No.
But it was delicious. It was using the leftovers of the evenings before.
Yes. I made a really good pork loin. Like perfect pork loin. I cooked it perfectly. Which is very rare for me to like cook meat like perfect. I usually like overdo it. Or I overdo it to the point where it's falling apart, which is like, you can't really fuck it up then. Put it in a crock pot for 4 hours
Just
on
put
low,
it in a crock
and you're
pot.
going to be good. But I cooked it like perfect. Like I seared it on the outside, and then I cooked it at like 400 for 20 minutes, and then let it rest, and it was like nice and juicy and perfect eating. It was so...
It was,
very proud of myself.
Blind Guardian. I don't know Blind Guardian. Let me open up the web. Yeah, it looks like a bland.
Bland.
They Blind Guardian, I'm just kidding. That sounds awesome.
Of course, we still answer to the McDlaw dogs, Philip.
They look like a metal band, kind of from this picture. I'm getting Disturbed, like Down with the Sicknessy. I mean, these two guys do look like brothers, but like Down with the Sickness, maybe.
Our weekend was good. We didn't really get up to much. Yeah.
I've been playing. I've been screwing
Pikmin
around with stuff. I've been playing a little Pikmin.
Yeah. I suggested that he play the game Pikmin because I thought he would like it, and I think you do. You at least like the challenge of it.
Yeah, I don't mind commanding little bastards around.
To do your bidding. Collect the plants.
Yeah, I'm messing around with some stuff to play some Switch games, and Pikmin is. I've never played them before. Krissy mentioned them. And so you get these little colored...
Oh, Philip says Pikmin is amazing. I love it. So Philip knows Pikmin.
You get these little colored Pikmin, and you pretty much just boss them around constantly.
Make them do shit for you.
Pikmin is amazing. Sonic Superstars is out today. Mario Wonder on Thursday. Yeah, my computer, or the computer, isn't quite as powerful as it could be.
There's a Pikmin that's white with red eyes, and it's a little bit creepy.
Yeah, I've never seen that one. I've only gotten these 4 is where I'm at right now. And this, that's yellow. But, I mean, it's good. You have to kind of organize them and tell them to do stuff. But
I wonder how Pikmin would taste.
Honestly, I just like yelling at them. Like, come here, do this.
I think they might taste like gummy bears.
Like gummy bears?
Yeah, I don't think they're made of actual meat. I think they would taste like gummy bears. That's what I think Pikmin would taste like. They're corresponding fruit flavors. So blue, obviously blue raspberry. Goes without saying.
Because obviously the most natural flavor is blue raspberry.
Yellow, lemon, red, cherry.
Yeah.
And then the Iceman probably tastes like mint.
It tastes like ice.
Or ouzo, one of those fucking ouzo candies that you get from like the Greek restaurant. You're like, bleh! Why'd you give me this shit?
From what? When you what?
When you go to Greek restaurants and they give you ouzo candies at the end of your meal.
Black licorice. I think they taste like jelly babies.
And then the white one is that mystery flavor of Airheads.
Oh, is that a...
I don't know what flavor mystery flavor is. It's just white.
Oh, the freaking movie with what's his name?
You have to put Airheads candy. Yeah. Is this a Canadian thing? Airheads, maybe? They might be.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys have these?
They're not that great.
They're pretty good. I don't know what to compare them to.
It's like a stretchy taffy.
Yeah, it's not like a Starburst as good. But...
Like Laffy Taffy, but I'd prefer Laffy Taffy. Like, oh, fuck. I love me some grape or cherry Laffy Taffy. Never seen them. It must be a Canadian thing.
Interesting. They're in the States, though.
Oh, okay.
Not in the British. I just started getting anxiety flash.
Do you need a piece of bread?
No, it's just my extremities. They start to feel tingly, and I don't like that feeling. I don't know.
I don't know if that helped.
Hey, Happy Mask, good to see you. No, it's just it just makes me feel jittery, and so if my thoughts seem sparse, it's because my brain is thinking of other things in the background.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'm here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
I'll keep this ship afloat.
No, I'm just saying, if it don't push yourself, you're feeling off. Yeah, no, I mean, overthinking sucks. The problem is I need distraction as well.
Yeah.
Distraction is one of the only things that keeps your brain from filling in the blank spot with something to worry about.
Evan just turned off the brain.
Yeah,
we were actually watching something about the movie The Giver before this, so you just need to go into giver mode where it's just everything's black and white, you have no emotion. It just, yeah. Don't Woosah.
No, it's just what it is in the morning I'm not as stable. So what happens, or stable, I my my mind hasn't been properly awoken for the day.
The medications haven't properly coalesced in your bloodstream.
So then I drink some coffee, and then I take my pills, and I'm eating stuff, so my body's digesting while, other things are happening, and then sometimes it just kind of hits all at once. Yeah. But then I feel fine once I talk about it.
I'm trying to think, did we watch any good movies this weekend? I don't think we did. Did we watch any movies?
We were going to watch one with Nicole Kidman.
Oh, yeah, we started to watch one, and then I think we got, maybe 5 minutes in, and then you also had to call your mom, and it was also kind of boring, so we were like...
Freaking Jabeson.
I know, I feel bad for Will Smith, too, so that's the kind of what we're going to talk about today. But also, I was reading something that I guess Will Smith had come forward at some point years ago talking about, the affairs he had during their relationship. So, I mean, obviously, he's not a completely clean character in their relationship, but overall, I will say at this moment in time, Jada Smith is going out of her way to twist the knife at every fucking turn that she can.
Yeah, and that's kind of obviously we made it the thumbnail because we watched Pearl and
I love Pearl. Pearl is so good.
It's about 10 degrees Celsius here right now and raining. Hey, Scon, good to see you.
Oh, Violetta, we feel bad for Will Smith because, I'm sure you're aware of the whole slap situation.
Yes, well, let's...
But Jada Smith has recently come out saying that, she's so surprised because they've technically been separated in their marriage for 7 years.
This is, if you didn't, it's just kind of... This Will Smith... slap in the face with Chris Rock was kind of everybody was like, what the hell?
And so I don't know about your feeds, but I keep seeing memes about Jada Smith admits she never knew Will Smith at all. They were never actually married. Yeah. And it's pretty funny. So the memes coming out of it.
She was on she wrote a book or a memoir or something. And she was on what interview was that? She was in an interview, and basically they kind of, they ask her about what, their relationship and all that kind of stuff. And basically, it's kind of
yeah, it seems to me
I've never loved him. Yeah. We haven't really. Yeah, exactly. She literally went on a talk show and made him cry talking about sleeping with one of their son's friends. Yeah. So what's his name?
I can't read.
Jaden.
Yeah,
Jaden's friends she slept with when he was 21 or something.
Yeah. And I guess their children have come out and been yeah, we wish that some of our private lives would have remained private. We feel really bad for our dad right now. He's definitely going through some shit, and we really wish some of this stuff would have remained in the family.
They're basically everybody's going after him again, right? In a sense of her saying, the one that I seen that was the funniest is it's her talking to, or her, what is it? Or Jada Pinkett Smith reveals she's never actually met Will Smith.
Yeah. I feel bad because he literally ruined his career for her, and now she's it's she's turning around and so this is what I'm thinking. She must have some sort of project coming out planned that she's trying to distance herself from him as much as possible. And I don't know, because I know he's been banned from the Oscars for a period of time because of the slap, but I don't know if she has. And maybe this is her also trying to distance herself from him as much as humanly possible so she can be reingratiated into Hollywood society.
It's she's basically trying to you notice when somebody is doing something, right? Releasing an album, releasing a movie, because if you watch a lot of YouTube or whatever, you see them on Hot Ones, and then you see them on this podcast and that podcast, and they do their circuit, right? And she's doing her interview circuit right now by stepping on the back of her husband's head and letting him drown.
Being I never fucking loved you, you piece of shit. I wish Tupac had lived and that I had married him instead. I had also read something that, I guess in her memoir, she talked about wanting to be a drug queen pin. I don't know if that's just some sort of meme or if that actually was in the memoir. But I don't know. I guess he also said she lived more on the edge than I thought.
Yeah, and she basically was saying that she's only loved one person, which is Tupac.
Yeah.
Which I actually had totally forgot about that. Yeah. And it's kind of interesting because they just arrested somebody for the murder of Tupac. I can't remember his name, but apparently he was going around talking about how he was in the car and all this stuff when it happened. So they're like, yeah, if you say you committed a crime, don't be surprised.
Yeah, well, Violetta said, she's take half his bazillion of money and they'll not starve. So I have to wonder if part of the reason why they haven't divorced is because there probably might have been no prenup, or like he could have stood to like the financial losses in the marriage might have been greater than them staying together. And let's face it, a lot of these people, when they get to this point, it's less about a romantic relationship and more about a financial partnership, because you've gotten to a financial point and a certain lifestyle that you want to maintain. And you could give a fucking shit about the other person. As long as you're getting some D on the side, who cares if you're married to some dude you don't really like? You are living a luxurious lifestyle.
Yeah, but I guess theirs would have to be amicable because they made money together.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a partnership. It's not like a loving relationship.
So, one sec here. Let me just check. Deadweight was asking if Starlink was blurry today. It seems okay, but with that said, I can't promise. Philip seems to say it's looking fine. I can deal with that. I noticed your title, Silly Willy Smith.
I think it was maybe more like there was a lot to lose from divorce, maybe.
Yeah,
rather than her wanting his money, but I mean, I can see that like there's definitely like mental games being played.
Owed millions in taxes when they met, and that's the whole reason he did Fresh Prince. I do remember something about that. This is nuts. I knew there was some crazy stuff going on. Yeah, it's the. So, I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about Will Smith, but to me, he was always the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, even when he was like in I Am Legend and, doing more serious stuff. I've always thought of him that way. And it wasn't until Jaden Smith came out saying weird stuff on Twitter that it kind of pulled for me, it pulled their family into the spotlight where it's like,
you mean Jaden's deep philosophical thoughts that he shared on Twitter?
If what is it, mirrors, how can I see if my eyes are mirrors or some shit like that? I don't know. We did watch an interesting thing about how basically his life was orchestrated by Will Smith. And he was destined to become kind of that shithead teenager because his dad was forcing him into trying to be like him with movies. And...
I had actually seen a quote from the daughter. What's her name? Whip your hair back and forth. You whip my hair.
I don't know. You said that the other day.
But I can't remember her name right now.
I'll type it in.
But anyway, I read a quote by her where I guess like when she was around the age of 12. Willow, that's it. Her like Will Smith brought like a project forward, if like like a movie for her to work on, and I guess her response to it was, how about I just be 12? And I think that's just great.
Yeah, and it sounds like that type of that type of relationship a lot of actors have with their kids. Where they like say the Serena Williams and her sister who were pushed into playing tennis professionally at a young age and stuff. But yeah, it's I guess Will Smith's dream to make Willow a child star was shattered when she flatly refused to be in a Cameron Diaz
and like it
movie.
Seems to me that he thinks that this is the greatest thing that he can do for his children is to make them child stars. But being a child star is fucked up. Like, look at how many child stars are like incredibly fucked in the head.
Well, it's not many of them make it out unscathed. No,
very few make it out unscathed.
But it's things like, I mean, you think about...
So to wish that upon your child is really weird.
Yeah, you think about them having to work like 10-hour days as a kid. They probably start drinking coffee at like 6 years old. And then Coffee stops working. So, you know, like all those child actors who became, you know, in drugs and alcohol. Yeah. And then there's the people that prey on the younger, both male and female people.
Well, Drew Barrymore, Judy Garland, Amanda Bynes, Britney Spears.
Whoo, Dougie.
Like, there's so
the ones
many.
That seem to have made it out mildly normal, that, you know, nothing's come out yet, is Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Right? Nothing too...
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah. Nothing too bad. Yeah. And Zendaya.
There's actually a lady on she's a former child actress. She has a series on YouTube right now. Her name is Allison. Her name is Allison Stoner, and she has a series on YouTube. She's a former child actress. You're spelling the name wrong. And she has a series on YouTube where she's talking about essentially like the pipeline of child stardom to being a fucked up adult and how that happens. And we've only watched like the first episode. Well, I've watched it. I think you were sleeping because I put it on at nighttime. And a lot of it, like from the very beginning, she's like, you have no like authority over your body. Like any like time you want to say no, like you aren't given that option. But yeah, it's a really interesting, like I said, we've only listened to the first episode.
Wasn't it from being on a Disney show as a kid or something?
Oh, she was in a bunch of shit.
Oh yeah, like didn't she co-star beside somebody who recently came out about stuff? Or I can't remember.
No.
I just thought I remember her name, but maybe not.
But you would recognize her from like if you look at childhood pictures of her, you would definitely recognize her. Like, see that picture on the edge right there? Like, she was in camp. Like, she was in so much shit.
Yeah, I guess maybe. I mean, I didn't really watch it. I did see Cheaper by the Dozen.
Well, I didn't really watch these things either, but she was in a lot of stuff when she was a kid. Do you remember
this strange period of time where everybody was apparently breakdancing?
Yeah, it was a weird time.
Did they do that in Slovenia and Britain where everybody was hip-hop dancers for a while? But it's so... Could you imagine being married to someone for as long as Will Smith and Jada are, and then basically the way that Will Smith says that he kind of figured out that his life sucked or was in the background sucked was he read her memoir. He read her book and he was like, oh, hey. We did not do that. You did have breakdance time. Don't lie to us, Philip. But so in this memoir, like I couldn't imagine... Like, I understand, say, being true to yourself. Writing my true feelings down or whatever, right? But at your expense, you know what I mean? Yeah. It seems just... Like, I guess she's, whatever, desires to tell her story. But where do you cross the line at not being a bad person considering you have kids and a husband still?
Yeah.
Well... husband. I mean, the kids are still...
I love how, in a way, these people are so egocentric that they deem their story so important that they need to write a memoir for everyone to read.
Yeah, and
like, I'm sorry, your life lessons don't really impact me whatsoever. I have a very different life that I need to lead, and I think you're probably, honestly, a little bit of a piece of fucking shit, and I don't need to know about your life lessons.
She
and
probably
I don't need to help you earn money. Yeah, she had definitely a ghostwriter.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, what I was going to say. The other thing she said on that interview was that after the slap, Chris Rock had reached out to her and was like, sorry, I didn't and then, think it would...
apparently tried to ask her for lunch?
Yeah, and then he said something like, well, I'd like to take you out. And she said, Chris... I'm with Will. And he said, well, I thought you guys are separated. And she turned him down. And if I was Chris Rock, he could have.
I honestly can't help but think that's her lying about that situation. Like, I think that's, like, fucking delusional shit that happened in her mind. Like, I don't think that actually happened. I would love for Chris Rock to come out and confirm that story. Because I think that she's full of fucking shit. To be perfectly honest.
So, Will Smith wrote, when you've been with someone for more than half your life, a sort of emotional blindness sets in, and you can all too easily lose your sensitivity to their hidden nuances and subtle beauties. I mean, if these people live a fundamentally different life than most, right? Like, he might go off for like 3 months filming a movie, and she goes off 3 months filming a movie. You know what I mean?
Oh, Jason said he does think that Chris Rock asked her out.
Oh.
Okay, well.
I seem to remember him talking about it recently. Shit, now I need to look it up.
But was it maybe like also like asking her out to be like friendly? Or like as a joke? Yeah. You know, like how much of it was like kind of a troll and how much of it was like just to be like a nice friendly dude.
Yeah, and like I meant that he didn't. Okay. I was saying that he did. Yeah, well, he just had a whole comedy series come out. Yeah. A whole new set or whatever. And I doubt, from what I understand, he talks about it, but we haven't watched it.
Yeah, she definitely is in her head the most desirable woman ever. For sure. You can, this is all conjecture on our part. And I'm sitting here shitting on a person I've never met before. I just, I'm observing the drama and giving my fucking 2 cents about it. And I feel like being a judgy ass bitch. So, bish. Motherfucking bish. But, yeah, she does seem, all appearances seem to think that she's the most desirable woman on the face of the fucking planet.
Yeah. You had referenced earlier that after reading it, Will Smith indicated that his wife lived more on the edge than he had realized and was more resilient, clever, and compassionate than he understood.
Also something just to kind of shoehorn in here a little bit, just because of my dislike of Jada Pinkett Smith. So I'm sure some of you have heard that Egypt is suing Netflix over the Cleopatra series that they had, where they depicted Cleopatra as a black woman. Now, I do find it kind of funny that they're going after Netflix when it was her production company that made the show.
Yeah.
I mean, and I guess I don't know. I find it funny. I find it a little bit funny that Netflix is getting sued, but it's her. She's the one who did it.
Well, they'll
she's the one who
I don't know,
misrepresented history.
But it's kind of if Netflix publishes it, who's the, you know what I mean? Yeah.
She seems to love misrepresenting history. Cleopatra, her relationship with Will Smith.
Yeah, it's apparently there was a little bit more that Will Smith shared. It's amazing to realize that despite having lived most of my life by your side, I still found myself shocked and stunned and caught off guard. Laughing, then inspired, then heartbroken. I was all over the place. It was one thing to hear anecdotes at a family barbecue, but it was truly overwhelming to take in your story potently condensed in this way.
I will say
you are one of one.
For as much as they seem to have a good communication in their relationship, they clearly didn't have good communication in their relationship.
It's interesting. So, it says, I know it wasn't easy for you to excavate the depths in that way. I applaud your honor and honor you. If I had read this book 30 years ago, I definitely would have hugged you more. I'll start now. Welcome to the Authors Club. I love you endlessly. Now go get some Marlowe and take a rest.
What?
With a laugh, Pinkett Smith responded that her husband knows she can't drink Marlowe.
Husband?
Okay.
That's beautiful. That's why I can't divorce that joker.
What does that even mean?
Huh? So you're just gonna keep stringing him along in whatever toxic relationship, marriage that you're in?
So
they're not divorced, they're just separated.
Yeah, it wasn't a divorce on paper, but they were basically separated. Interesting. Yeah, where's that part? Oh, yeah. Immediately after the slap, while snippets for the best documentary nominees were being shown, Pinkett Smith and Rock came up to her to apologize. Chris looks to me and says, Jada, I meant no harm. She recalls, I'm thinking or I'm just out of it because I'm really worried about Will, and Will's still talking. Now he's mad because Chris is talking to me. And I go, Chris, this is about some old shit. That's all I could think about saying. And I couldn't really take his apology. But where was that part? So he called me and basically he was like, I'd love to take you out. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, well, aren't you and Will getting a divorce? I was like, no, Chris, those are just rumors. He was appalled and he profusely apologized, and that was that. I don't know about... I mean, it could have happened. It doesn't necessarily indicate that...
It was done in a romantic way.
I mean, if you ask about someone getting divorced, I mean, you're kind of on that level. But the thing I would typically say is that it's not right for, you know, anybody's dirty laundry to be aired.
No. I would hate for them to be my parents. Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say is, like, it's one thing for, like, these two... I mean, not that their kids aren't adults now, but, like, you're always... If your parents are famous, you live under that umbrella till they... Well, even after they pass, I'm sure. So, they don't... I don't know why they feel like sharing everything publicly that's personal, like a bad vlogger channel on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, I guess when you're trying to sensationalize
they're a little bit touched in the head.
Yeah, when you're trying to sensationalize the news sphere, maybe you, I don't know, pick your own clickbait of your life. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't get it. The book's probably going to sell really well because of this. Is kind of the thing.
Doesn't she? Because isn't her big thing right now like that Red Table thing that she has going on? And it was like a series on YouTube where she would do like chats with her mother and Red Table Talk. And so I wouldn't be surprised if it's all just to kind of like drum up drama so people come listen to her talk about shit. I mean, like we are right now. Like, I'm sitting here spewing shit about Jada Pinkett Smith simply because of the stupid shit she says. It pisses me off. I have no relation to this woman in regards to, like, her... She impacts my life absolutely fucking zero way.
Yeah, I've never... I mean, there's very few people from Hollywood that I would listen to in a sense of... life advice, you know, because most of them you
probably
find
Weird Al would be it.
Yeah, Weird Al.
Weird Al.
Most people are like products of nepotism. Yeah. Even on YouTube, it's crazy. You look at like some of the top creators, you're like, oh shit, they'd find out that it's somebody's cousin who's famous, or you know what I mean. Yeah. But it's interesting. I don't know if I wish them well. I'd rather them separate and everybody forget about this being in the news. I think people are willfully distracting themselves with this kind of stuff because of World War III.
There's a lot of big shit going on right now. Yeah. But yeah, let's focus on this because this is more fun to complain about.
Yeah, like I haven't actually watched this video, but I'm excited as a pop drinker, a soda drinker. This person apparently blew everybody's mind with the appropriate way to open it up.
Show me the appropriate way.
Show me the way.
I found them.
No.
What?
I'm gonna mute that, but... I mean...
Do you want me to go get 2 Pepsis from the camper and we can test?
No, because then I have to drink god-awful Pepsi.
I'll drink the Pepsi. I kind of want to test.
There's 2 in there, I think.
Oh, okay.
Why would you do that? I don't... Because maybe you just cut your fingernails and you can't get it under the tab.
Oh, I will say this is one thing that they do in Europe that's way better than they do over here is, like, the tabs are, like, reinforced.
Here?
No, like, in Europe.
What do you mean?
Like, on their pop cans and shit. They have, like...
So the tab doesn't come off?
No, the tab is stronger than, like, our tabs, because our tabs fucking suck.
Okay.
Okay. Do it the way that it doesn't go, and then... Wait.
Oh, you're so close. Here, let me try.
So stupid.
I was this years old when I tried... I mean, yes. If
you got it.
I have it leveraged.
I mean, I can't say that's any better.
I can't. Honestly, the only way that would be cool is if I was a bartender and someone opened a beer and I went psst, psst, and handed them. That's it.
Also, for the record, Pepsi is very subpar to Coke Zero. Just letting you know.
Diet Pepsi and Pepsi Zero are basically garbage.
It's like,
I'm sorry, Philip.
Yeah.
I drink pop. I've drank pop pretty much my whole life. In the womb.
If you prefer Brad's drink over Coke, there's something you're a little, to use the parlance of our times, you're a little fucked in the head.
Coke Zero is good. We drink a lot of Coke Zero because mainly I used to drink regular Coke. I had a Coke Zero and I went, tastes the same to me. So I started drinking it. But so then now we're in this thing where regular pop seems too sweet now. So we have to drink kind of a diet or a zero version. So Pepsi was on sale at the grocery store and we still have half a thing of it because
it's not good.
I literally, if it sits open for more than like 8 minutes.
It needs to be drank immediately and it needs to be very cold.
If it sits open for 8 minutes, it's awful.
If you have a straw,
Dr. Pepper is great.
It's better because you can get it deeper in the back of your throat and then you're not really tasting it.
I've never had Pepsi Max, but Pepsi Zero and Diet Pepsi, no good. Yeah. Things like 7-Up, Crush, or cream soda, orange, Dr. Pepper, those things made by Dr. Pepper's its own. But other Pepsi products are fine. The actual main Pepsi is bad. It's so bad. I couldn't believe it.
Pepsi Zero is terrible, Bracken. Don't get it. Diet Pepsi far surpasses Pepsi Zero.
Just get Coke products.
Just get Coke. For some reason, we've been having issues with supply in regards to Coke Zero where we are. The supply chain really shit in the fucking bed in regards to Coke Zero products. So,
yeah, I think the funny thing is that the grocery store, all of the Coke Zero will be gone, and then all of the Diet Coke, and then everyone just stands and looks at the regular Coke if I get that, I can't drink as many because it has calories.
See, this is what does confuse me about the small town that we live by in regards to supply and demand. Always when it comes to Crispers, the only one to constantly always sell out and that they never have in stock is Ranch. Why they don't order more Ranch Crispers or more Coke
roasted
Zero,
chicken chips
or more. Well, the roasted chicken chips are a seasonal thing.
They're so good.
Oh, roasted chicken chips are the fucking best.
So if you don't have Crispers, these are Crispers.
Yeah.
They're made by Mr. Krissy. It's like a cracker.
Are those a Canadian thing?
I don't know. I think Krissy is. Shops don't understand supply and demand. Yeah.
Ranch Crispers are the only good Crispers, in my
I used
opinion.
to eat a lot of before they had Ranch.
Oh, I fucking love Ranch Crispers.
Apparently, that's how I spell barbecue. All dressed. I haven't had the all dressed ones. Yeah. The dressed all over. The zesty mordant.
They've really been a victim of shrinkflation. I will say that.
Oh yeah, I don't know, chips, and especially I'm pretty sure they save 1 chip per bag and then they get an extra bag for free.
Another good ranch flavored thing is that Wheat Crunch.
This is what they have in Slovenia apparently.
You know those Wheat Crunch snacks?
Yes.
Yeah, the ranch of those is really
good too. I mean, when you're thirsty, you suck on a cocta. Suck down one of them cocta.
I like the aesthetic of it. Cocta.
Cocta.
Let me put the cocta in my mouth.
Yes. Excuse me, sir. Can I offer you a cocta?
Can I suck on your cocta?
I'm so parched. I need a cocktail. I need your cocktail.
Pour that cocktail down my mouth.
The drink from our younger days, the heritage of Slovene brands. Is that how? The Slovene Ethnographic Museum. Interesting. Is it cola flavored?
Jason said, I bought some zero sugar A&W root beer not long ago, and that was pretty good. I love A&W root beer.
Is cocktail cola flavored?
Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, 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 bum,
okay, so that didn't work.
Ba-dum. Look up what flavor is cocktail.
I feel like this is skin flavored. What flavor is cocktail? Slovenian
drink
beverage. Cocktail.
What does cocktail taste like?
Dog rose hip? Dog rose? What? The other ingredients come from herbs, lemon, and orange. Its original variant contains neither caffeine nor orthophosphoric acid.
Well, I mean, you probably don't really want to drink orthophosphoric acid.
So they were not being sold in Yugoslavia when this particular person seems to have created a new drink.
Oh, a blend of 11 herbs and spices, just like KFC.
Yeah, you guys put KFC in a carbonated drink?
KFC drink?
Cacta.
This would be interesting to try.
Yeah.
I love, so there's this one place in Saskatchewan that I used to love going to. It was called Petra Market. And they had a bunch of like Middle Eastern foods and stuff like that. And I loved just getting like random beverages or like, yeah, all the random like Middle Eastern food things that you could try.
Scone apparently was the A&W bear at one point.
There was so much halva and so much.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking love halva. Halva's so good.
Oh,
it's just a regular rose. Like
oops. Yeah, I closed out of it. Sorry, I was cooking too fast. That's how you open a soda can, apparently. You know, what else we got here? We got a Minnesota cat sanctuary for strays? I mean, come on. Give me a P.O. box, I'll send you one. Well,
we need to actually open one in town.
Cactus. Yeah, we actually do need to do that. So
we've gone in twice, both to open a P.O. box. Well, the first time they were like, you might have to go to the other small town. It's like, why would we go to the other small town? There's literally no fucking resources there. Like, we don't go grocery shopping there because there's nothing in that small town. We don't ever go there. Why would we go there to open a fucking P.O. box? And then the second time we went in, they were like really busy with stuff and made Evan stand in a corner for 5 minutes until he was kind of like, fuck this shit. Then...
$50 for $1.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Especially if you don't want it to break. I just thought this was kind of cute. You know, we got Jinjee's upstairs.
Yeah, he is.
Carl already came and ate. I don't think he's there.
No, probably not.
Nope, I don't see a Carl. But in Minnesota, freaking Minnesota, they have a cat sanctuary with a new outdoor playground for the feral rescues. And people care about them. Freaking care. Look at these little fur monsters. CBS says that, I mean, I guess it's a CBS report, but 6 years ago is when they set up this rehabilitation kind of thing for feral cats. We only accept cats from clinics, rescues, impound humane societies that are deemed unadoptable due to behavior. Julie has taken in hundreds of strays, gotten hundreds adopted thanks to donations. She's able to provide low-cost spaying and neutering as well as flea and deworming. Nice. This guy, I mean, there's so many of them.
I love cats.
Yeah. A nice outdoor cat sanctuary for unruly or for unfriendly. Yeah. It's the exact kind of... Our playground is officially open. Come enjoy the cats experience their first day at 5 p.m.
Furball Farm is what it's called.
Is it?
Yeah, Furball Farm.
Oh, Furball Farm Cat Sanctuary.
That's so cute.
You know, we'd probably, if we didn't have winter...
Yeah.
we could probably do something like this because there's a lot of where we are. Groceries are ridiculous. Well, in general, like this other article I have here is this person lives on the border, and it's cheaper for her to drive to the States
to buy groceries,
to drive to the States to get things than to buy them in British Columbia.
It saves around $300 a month on groceries, and I'm not surprised by that. Honestly, we went to the store the other day and we got like a bag full of stuff, and it was under $100, and I was like, oh my god, this is like the first time we've spent less than $100 on groceries in a very long period of time.
Yeah.
But it's simply because we didn't get a lot of shit.
So basically, like, I guess her husband initially was questioning, like, why are you driving so far? Until she was able to show him some things that were like basically like 2 for $5. You know, just one of those pain relievers is $7 in Canada. You know, basically pork chops for $4, ground beef for $6, sausage.
Yeah.
You know, like,
and like I know that there's an argument that we have we earn more money in regards to minimum wage and stuff like that. But when it comes to, like, exchange rate, honestly, Canadians, we're being raked over the fucking coals for food.
Well, yeah, the biggest problem that we have is the bottleneck of Weston, or the Weston family. Yeah. The largest... Sorry, what were you saying?
Sorry, I was going to respond to Jason. Some states have high income tax and some have low sales tax. Either way, your high sales tax will still be lower than the sales tax here in Canada. Our PST and GST combined is what, like 25% of a sale? I think it's 25%. Because well, isn't GST is like I think one's 13 and the one's at least 13 and the other's like at least 10. So it's at least 23% on top of your sale. It would be GST and PST. Sorry.
Yeah,
no,
11%.
No. So 11%. So there's 11% immediately on top of the sale of like unless it's foodstuffs.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it.
Some foodstuffs, if it's like snacks are taxed.
But that was the other thing, Scon, is even with like $1 American is like $1.75 Canadian or some shit. Even with that change in exchange rate, this woman still saves money going across the border.
Like gas is still so much cheaper in the States, like because of the price per gallon, and we pay it's right now $1.50 per liter.
Yeah,
it's probably more expensive in Europe. But when you live in a place where everything is at least like 2 hours away from each other because of like sprawling vast amounts of land, you get fucking landlocked when you can't afford to travel like that.
So the average price, the national average of gas is in the States is $3.58
a gallon. How many gallons are in a liter?
How many? Well, it's liters in a gallon. I think it's 3.4.
Right. 3.7.
3.7. So
you would divide 3.54 by 3.7. And this will get us our so it would be 95 cents per liter.
You guys are about 50,
honestly, the last
60
time,
cents cheaper.
The last time it was under... it was.
That's true. I knew that, Jason.
At the very beginning of COVID, it was under $1 a liter. But the last time I saw it under $1 a liter in my life was like literally I was a child.
I worked at the gas station when I was 16. When I turned 16.
$1.69 yesterday.
$1.69. Yeah,
Holy
we're $1.49.9.
Yeah,
right
it went
now.
down a little bit.
Oh yeah, $1.84 in BC. The problem is like, you know how, like, I guess there was a federal ruling, or the Supreme Court of Canada said that there was the Liberal government was reaching too far with their environmental, like in a sense of like how much they were going to penalize fossil fuel usage.
Yeah.
Because Canada's a huge landmass like the States, right? And just like the States, we have various different kinds of weather.
Yeah.
Where we are, electric is going to be so hard to be the main form of fuel.
I'm just going to check the exchange rate for Jason.
It's dropping because summer is over, but then we'll go up once winter hits. Yeah, they also change prices depending on if it's a holiday or not.
So right now, $1 American is $1.36 Canadian.
Oh. Not when I said $1.75, I was being facetious or hyperbolic. Sorry. But yeah, you need gas. That's just the thing, right? The other problem is that they can't do like a buyback program to be like, we'll buy all your shitty cars and give you $2,000 towards a new electric vehicle or some shit. Like, that's not gonna work. You know how many cars that is? You think about them doing that with guns in Canada? Say like, oh,
well, they did.
Yeah, exactly. Not everyone in Canada owns a gun, but most people have a car. Yeah. So there'd be like, we would be in like a, what do they call those things? Salvage yard. Half of Saskatchewan would be a giant vehicle salvage yards. You know what I mean? Yeah. I spend like $3.75 when I give you $5. Yeah, it's the only thing is that I know for sure is something's going to change sometime in the future before we all get old and wrinkly, in the sense of how the economy functions and what it functions off of.
I was actually listening to a really interesting interview with Isaac Asimov last night, and it was from like, I think 1990, and he's talking about like change in society, and basically he's like, at any point you should always ask yourself, like, is this society sustainable enough that this, you don't like, how will this change in 10 years? Basically, like, put yourself 10 years in the future from this point, and do you think that this will be sustainable for another even 10 years? And most of the time it's not.
Yeah, it's well, it rarely is. I mean, most of the businesses we have now, I always bring up Vox just because they're going bankrupt, right? And they were like one of the most highly produced internet video companies, I would say, and they were built off of projections. Mm-hmm. They said, oh, in 10 years we'll be worth $2 million or $10 million or something.
All built off projections, and like,
it's like 100
venture
million.
Capital.
Yeah, and so everything is based on something that we can't possibly predict because we don't look at natural disasters and wars.
And then ultimately, when they don't get the money that they thought they would, it's like, well, we need to come down harder on the poor people and make them like, we need to extract funds out of the poor as much as possible.
Yeah, there's a couple of things happening in a sense of the techno world to make it a little less of a, 2-company, 3-company solution type thing, and especially for Apple, because California passed the Right to Repair Act for electronics, meaning that Apple can't just say, send your phone in. Apple has to provide you with the parts to fix it yourself, which, I mean, I get it. There is danger, can happen, touching things that you shouldn't touch if you don't know how. But to think of the stranglehold that companies have had on something, like, you're no longer, like, at one point, phones were going down in price. You could get a phone for a cheaper price, but now you're spending like $1,200 on a contract for the new iPhone, and you can't fix it yourself if you want to. So the EU came out with forcing Apple to use the USB-C because of, basically them creating that false market because they have a necessity or a necessary cable. And then this will be another thing that just kind of slows down that like the equivalency of fast fashion for electronics.
Well, they used to build things so that they would last long and they could be repaired. And now it's just a throwaway culture that we live in.
Yeah, my printing business was super popular from 86 to 2008. Things started to change, so I focused on new renewable products and other things. It's now doing well. Yeah, but you got to be smart like that. You can't just say, I'm going to put my foot down, and people are always going to want to do it this way. planned obsolescence can suck my toes. Yeah, it's amazing. Did you see how much they charge for that cable? I can only imagine. They came out with a new pen for their iPad, and it's like $300. It's like, buy a solid gold pen for $300, and then in like 10 years it might be worth more.
Like, they really in my opinion, have a wrong idea how much people, like, human society really wants to embrace technology in their everyday life. I think people enjoy the convenience of having like a phone, but I don't want like my glasses to have like integrated technology and shit in it so that I have to like fucking see an ad every time I look around. I don't know. I don't think, and I hope that like the metaverse is not going to catch on in the way that Zuckerberg wants it to.
Well, I think that it'll
I hate how greedy people are.
For me, I guess one of the big things is, I don't feel weird about it, but when people talk about, like, we watched a video, I think it was that Ludwig the other day, who said, who uses Google anymore? Everyone uses ChatGPT.
I use Google all the time. I've never used ChatGPT.
And there's something I don't like inherently. Like, at least with Google, you're searching to find an answer. But now what people do is they just say, how would I do this? And it just tells them what, and they just go, oh, that must be the best way because ChatGPT told me.
Like I was saying the other day,
and I just can't.
About this topic is, it's important to learn how to find things for yourself. Well, it's really awesome to have something just like spew the answer out for you right away. It is important to develop the skill to know how to go find information without like the use of an aid like that. Like I think it's highly important to know how to look through like a fucking set of encyclopedias and get some information out of a fucking set of encyclopedias. Like, yeah, it's kind of obsolete, but it's still important to know how to like go through like there's so much, like if you're gonna write history at all, like yeah, there's stuff that's all online, but you're still gonna have to learn how to interact with your primary sources. And so knowing how to go about finding those primary sources and interacting and deciphering them, you won't get by just like asking ChatGPT questions.
Well, one of the things I always use, I mean, it might sound old as hell, but like maps.
Yeah.
Like if you don't know how to read a map or know where you are, or, know that, okay, I've traveled 1 mile or 1 kilometer, or grid roads are spaced this, like if you don't know how to use a map or understand where you are, like that's the big thing.
We were talking about that as well, because when I was in my youth, I was in Army Cadets, so I took lessons on how to read topographical maps and basically be able to figure out where you are by looking at a map, and you're like kind of like land and like, and it's an important life skill. Like we aren't like, I don't think internet as it is going to last forever. There will probably unfortunately be a point in society where there will be like
a solar flare.
Something's gonna happen.
Everyone will be on a Starlink. They'll stop running cables. A solar flare will knock the Kepler syndrome will all smash these satellites. Something you can't. I mean, we're not like, you need to know how to build a boat from a canoe from a tree to survive.
I lent somebody a book the other day, and she was like, oh, this is such a great idea. I never thought about actually buying the book myself and having it and owning it, and then I can lend it out to other people as well. And I'm like,
yeah,
you're older than me.
My brain started going, shit, like thinking about video games with my cousins and stuff. There's so many games I would have never played because, you can only rent a game for like a couple days and then you gotta keep renting it. But we would swap games, right? So I'd play their Final Fantasy VII while they played our Metal Gear Solid, and then we'd trade back. Like,
I'm gonna help Phil with his thing.
I want fried chicken with.
This is what you do. You get her that Indian curry, and then from that same restaurant, you order yourself some tandoori chicken, which
tandoori chicken
is not fried chicken, but get yourself some tandoori chicken, and then maybe some rice
But
as like, the starch side. And then for dessert, get some gulab jamun.
But why can't Mrs. Levity eat? I don't know. I guess there's nothing comparable from. What do you have, like KFC? Where do you get? Where are you getting your? How about give us the name of the restaurants, and we'll look them up. We'll tell you which one looks better. Just kidding. We had a super dodgy guy come around to our house once a week called the Games Man. We rented games off him. It was awesome. There was this guy downtown where we lived, the Moose Jaw Video Game Exchange, and he. Okay, I'm not gonna make I'm not gonna make a bad joke, but he screwed over so many kids.
Yeah, he did.
Honest to God, you would go in there like just a doughy-eyed kid, like, I'd like to trade these video games for a new video game, and you'd be like, scrutinize them. You'd be like,
for somebody
$2.
who owned a game shop, like, he sure hated children and tried really hard to like screw you over.
Because like growing up, my family didn't have a lot of money, so we had to trade in our previous console towards getting a new console. And like this guy would see you coming for walking down the street and he'd be like, these kids, I am gonna rake them over the coals. And it's like thinking about it now, it's just unbelievable.
Enjoy your tandoori chicken.
Fried chicken place, and the hygiene recent is not good. There you go. He was just following GameStop's lead. He was before GameStop though. He was the only place you could go. I remember the one time when I can't remember. I think I took in my PlayStation 1 to try and get a Dreamcast, and it was like.
I got my Sega Game Gear from there. My dad haggled with him because there was no way I would be haggling with this man for a Sega Game Gear.
No, there's no haggling. I think he lived upstairs.
I don't know. I just remember him being a cantankerous old man.
Some things are just crazy, like why somebody would want to make a pepper hotter than the California Reaper.
It's because this man, Ed Curry's a little bit crazy.
Yeah, the Spice Man. A lot of people, when they think of spice, they think of this gentleman named Ed Curry. And he apparently crossbred some different types of Carolina peppers, or Carolina Reapers, and broke the record with one that's now 3 times hotter. And it's called Pepper X. So just to give you an idea, Pepper X record is an average of 2.69 million Scoville units. And by comparison, pepper spray holstered by police is 1.6 million and bear spray is 2.2 million.
I can literally feel my ears hurt, like ringing. Like, when you eat something really spicy and you feel it in your ears?
So I
can feel that just talking about this.
So it said where was it? I think there's only 5 people have ever eaten it.
Like Philip said, I think someone's going to die from eating Pepper X. Not good. Yeah, like that kid who just died from that one chip challenge or whatever.
Yeah, well, it says...
Yeah, I bet it tastes like trash. Yeah,
I was feeling the heat for 3.5 hours and then the cramps came. Curry said, one of only 5 people so far to eat an entire Pepper X. Those cramps are horrible. I was laid out flat on a marble wall for approximately an hour in the rain, groaning in pain.
Oh my God. Like, we have a bunch of Ring of Fire peppers that I use, and I think the Scoville unit on that is 20,000. I would not really want anything spicier than those. Like, that is like the amount of spice I want is the peppers I have currently drying in my house. They actually make the house smell like spicy pepper. Kind of
nice. Actually, so Philip, a kid, we talked about it at the time, but it says on the bag, basically, if you like get hiccups for an extended period of time, it could be really bad.
So they've banned them now in Canada, haven't they?
Well, they pulled them off the shelves everywhere, I think.
Yeah.
So what happened was, I can't remember, it caused some kind of like heart.
Yeah.
His heart stopped functioning properly and he died. But I heckled. As a kid, You haggled whenever you got the chance. I always felt too like scared to haggle with adults. I still hate it.
The only experience I've really had haggling was when I was in Israel and Jordan.
Philip traded a ton of SNES stuff for a Dreamcast. I had a Dreamcast too, and I did like it. But there was only like 3 games that came out that were any good.
I remember when I was in Jordan, and I'll go. Funny story. I'll talk about what I was buying in Jordan, because it's a little bit of a piss off in the long run. Let me go get it.
Yes. Just while she's grabbing that, just the only other article I found was about this guy who cleans coffee machines, like vending machines, and he was showing the inside of it, which I thought was interesting because where I worked, I had to clean the one that the students had to use, and it was gross. It was like, when I say gross, I mean like caked walls on it. And the Van Hoot guy used to come and do it. But basically these machines barely work in the first place. So chances are you're getting some real grimy richness off of the bottom.
Sorry, hard pivot away from what you were talking
I just thought I'd show that quick.
Back into haggling.
Haggling.
Okay, so I was back in the summer of 2008. I went to the Middle East, specifically Israel, and then we visited Jordan and Egypt afterwards. I was there on an archaeological dig with my university. So, let me set the scene. We're in Jordan, Petra, viewing Petra. Really fucking cool. There's this like little kiosk place right across from like the main part of Petra where they sell like touristy shit, and you can haggle. There's no real set prices on anything. So I see this cute little pipe, and I'm like, I really want this cute little monkey pipe. What a cute little monkey pipe. So I proceed to like haggle, and the man's way of like haggling back with me is to like, he kept complimenting my eyes. You're like, you have Egyptian eyes. Trust me, I am from Egypt. I know. Egyptian eyes. Also, not the first time I was told this over there. Like, a guy in Egypt straight up showed me a picture of his wife, and he was like, see, you have same eyes, except yours are different color. Same eyes. Anyway, so I haggle the man down to 8 Jordanian dinar for this stupid little pipe, and then, like, go about my way. And then, like, come fall time, 2008, I'm back in Lethbridge. I'm a smoker of marijuana. Yes, I'm aware it was illegal at the time. But
Statute of limitations,
fucking deal with it. So I was in the head shop in Lethbridge because I wanted a little bong. And what do I see in the fucking head shop? The exact same fucking pipe for $8 Canadian. And you know what's a piss off? Dinar is worth more than Canadian dollars. I spent more fucking money buying this pipe, and I haggled down the price of it. And I had to deal with this man telling me about my nice Egyptian eyes, only to pay more fucking money in it than I could have bought it in Lethbridge. Anyway, that's my story.
Maybe you can just think of it as such a good product it was imported.
Yeah.
That's I mean, I guess that's the potential risk when you're talking souvenirs. I've never really been anywhere for souvenirs, but people brought me some stuff back. Your mom brought me a coffee cup from Egypt, and the coffee tastes extra pyramid-y. Folks, I think that's about all my hips got in me.
Never trust someone complimenting you while trying to take your money. Yes. Yeah. Lesson definitely learned. Oh, do you have Egyptian eyes? Trust me, I am from Egypt. I know, you have Egyptian eyes.
I can tell. What is it? Kazakhstan, #1 importer of potassium. Evan, that was hilarious. Put your left hand on your head again. It looks like someone is there, stood up, stroking. What? What did I do? Oh, like this? Yeah, today's rainy and dreary. Maybe we'll go take a peek in a stretch.
No one offered camels for my hand in marriage, but I was asked in Egypt if I wanted to be married.
Scott wants some no. Jordanian cash. Or sorry, Jordan wants Jordanian cash. I guess I should use their real name, so if anyone looks at the chat log, they're like, who the hell are they talking about? Hey, you guys, thank you so much for coming out. We always have such a good time getting to chit-chat with you, you know, do the thing. You may think to yourself, too bad. Sorry, my brain, it's not working.
Oh, thank you so much. I got, when we were in Moose Jaw last, we went to storage and I got my jewelry out of storage, and this is one of my favorite necklaces I own. And I very rarely wear jewelry nowadays, and I just felt like putting it on today.
She looks so lovely,
Thanks.
as always.
Thanks.
She's even cuter in person. Yeah.
That's arguable, but thanks.
Well, we won't argue about it.
Oh, big.
I made us full screen. That looked weird. You guys have a wonderful day. Take care. See you Thursday. I don't know.
What?
Maybe. We'll see. I didn't know if we were streaming tomorrow or not.
Are we? What's wrong with tomorrow?
I don't know. Maybe Violetta is busy tomorrow, but and maybe, she was just saying see you Thursday.
Maybe also, I don't know what time it is in Slovenia. Is it Wednesday in Slovenia? Jinjee? He's right here, beside me. You want me here? I'll pick him up.
Yeah, you guys can see Jinjee. Do you want a big camera or little camera? Yeah, we'll say hi to Jinjee. Yeah.
What are you doing? Oh, you're in Vienna. Oh, at the concert.
Oh, yes.
Are you gonna eat some Vienna sausages while in Vienna? Eat some Vienna sausages and drink some cocktail?
Yeah. You're gonna get some nice cacta.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
Hi, little choo-choo. Hi, guys. 1 hour later for me. Whee! Much love, you guys. We'll zoom in on Jinjee as we stop stream. Wait. Jinjee.
Bye.